How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing good. If you didn't get a chance to watch my live trading session, my market analysis I did yesterday, it's on my page. Feel free to do so. Everything was quite accurate, if I can say. I caught a lot of pips last night. So this is where we're gonna start off today. I always start off on my higher time frames, which is my swing trading chart for my swing traders, and we're gonna go through my pair from swing trading time down to our intraday time. We're gonna start off looking at EU, Euro, Dollar. As you can see, we still have this head and shoulders formation. We have a left shoulder. We have a head. We have a head that came in right at my monthly key level, which is this light blue box right here. Price dipped, came right back up to the right shoulder. And if you know anything about head and shoulders formation, that is a bearish reversal formation. And price also came to this 61.8 level of this right shoulder. And then where price dropped, we had a good drop, and now this is where price is currently at right now. I'm gonna go switch to my day trading time. And this is what where price is at. I drew this out yesterday to kind of see the ebb and flows of the market. Where price started the downtrend, price came down. We had an outside return back in the structure. After the outside return, we dropped again. Price came right back up, but could not create newer highs. Then we had this big drop. So this is currently where we are at right now. I expect price to make another drop tonight. Going into New York, we might get a little rise going into London, but I really do not see price breaking this structure level right here. And then if you notice, we got a 61.8% Fibonacci also in this area, which is a very strong reversal zone. So that's my bias on EU. Do we got any questions before I go to the next pair? Okay. We go to my next pair, which is pound dollar. You can look at my Facebook page. I gave this analysis as well to get short, just as I did EU to start this weekend at the end of last week, I believe. We have this, noticing now we got this red trend line right here. This is my weekly trend line, the outer trend line. And then the black trend line right here is my daily trend line. We have a double top formation that formed here. Then we got the drop. We passed through my daily trend line, and we got a break and close beneath my red trend line, which is my weekly. And this is currently where price is at right now. Yes, and the rest I remind you again, the black line is my weekly key level. So I'm still looking for price to make lower lows. We haven't really got to that point yet. We're going to go look at it on the day trading time and see what we see. First thing I want to do, just looking at this chart, I want to apply my Fibonacci to it. I'm very big on Fibonacci. I'm going to start from swing high, work my way down to swing low. See if we got a harmonic. I was looking for a cipher, didn't quite make it to that 1272 extension down there. So we're going to just leave it at this. But the first thing I know when I apply my Fibonacci from swing high to swing low, I look to my left, and the first thing I notice is structure. I'm very big on structure in my trading plan. So first thing we can do, we can draw a box. Some people will call it a supply zone. And if you notice, it comes right here up to my 618. Very good PRZ. Kind of just show the ebb and flows of the market on here as well. Initially, we had the drop. Price has since risen back. We had an outside return. We had another drop. So already we have lower lows being formed. And this is currently where price is at right now. I predict that we might get a push up to the 61.8 during London. But I definitely anticipate price to come back down and make a new high, make a new lower low going into Friday and during the end of Friday. Do anybody got any questions on GU before I go to the next chart? Okay. Going into my next chart, which is dollar CAD. Dollar CAD has been a very good pair for me this week. I actually gave this analysis on dollar CAD this past Sunday, where price is right here at the hammer. I was telling everybody to get short. If you notice, we had the hammer right here at this light blue zone, which is one of my monthly key levels. I drew my Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, and as you can see, I can kind of draw the arrows out for you guys to see it a little better. Where I drew my swing low to swing high from. And then we have price come right back down and test this 61.8. So my target ones for this trade have already been hit. This wick went up to try to reach target 2, couldn't quite get there. But I'm still, for my swing traders out there, I'm still anticipating for price to hit target 2 and target 3 of this trade. We can go look at it on our intraday times and see how we could possibly get involved in this trade. Kind of delete this. We got a lot on here, y'all. So first thing I want to do when I kind of look at this, I want to apply my Fibonacci to it. I want to draw it from swing low to swing high. And as you can see right now, it's already at this 61.8 level. So the first thing we want to notice, we want to apply some key structure points. We got a great structure point in right here where price is being rejected from. And we have another structure point that could be down here by the 61.8. We can pull it actually from over here. Oops, not that. Let me delete that for you guys. So this is one or two PRZs. If price stays above this level, I would actually look to get long. I would like to actually see kind of a dip back down in the price. We can kind of add another, see where we want to go with this. Yeah, so kind of just wait and see where price is going to go with dollar CAD at this moment. Any questions on dollar CAD before I go to my next pair?
Yeah. You think that for a little bit? Great.
I can't hear you, Kiana. Can you repeat that, please?
Alright, I think you can price it up a little bit and then head and shoulders.
You said price grow up and create a new what?
Create head and shoulders.
Okay, yes. It is kind of a I guess if you want to call it'll be an invalid head and shoulders, honestly. Were you talking about your left shoulder being right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see if price hold right here. It definitely could be a head and shoulders and we could anticipate a drop. But unless price holds, if we get a higher close above this left shoulder, it would be an invalid head and shoulders. And as you know, I'm more of a trend continuation trader. So if we do short this right now, it would be a counter trend trade. So I'm looking for reasons to get long instead of reasons to get short. Okay. Any other questions before I go to the next pair? Okay. My next pair I'm going to look at it is it's Aussie Dollar. Oh, let me send this. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Next pair we're gonna look at is Aussie Dollar. Aussie Dollar was one of my other pairs. I caught it probably, I think I caught about 80, 90 pips on AU last night. As you can see, just looking at this, we got our Fibonacci drill from swing high back down here to our swing low. And as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys can see it a little better. We had a shooting star bearish formation right at my weekly key level. This black line right here is my weekly key level. So this is when I was anticipating to get short. So my long bias on AU, I am anticipating, you know, lower lows to be created eventually. Of course, on the swing trade setup, we can go look at it on our intraday time and see how we could possibly look to get involved in this trade. Still got a lot drew on here from yesterday. This is let's see, draw this. First thing, you know, I look at when I see this, go ahead and remove everything. We did have kind of a double. We had a double top right here where price dropped. We had this double top with divergence. So, you know, some of y'all already on here are familiar with the 2618 trade, which we kind of had, where price is falling right now from the 61.8. But I am anticipating for AU to fall during London. It's kind of the PRZ where I would like to see price to come up to then drop. We can kind of anticipate kind of something like a triple top. You know, but I'm definitely anticipating for AU to make lower lows on this chart. Any questions on AU before we go to the next pair? Okay. Next pair we're going to look at is New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This is, you know, quite frankly, this is where price is right now. We was on an evident uptrend where price got terminated at up here. Couldn't quite get past our 61.8 level. That's when I was anticipating to get short. But what we did do is to kind of get a better entry. Let me grab the Fibonacci tool again from you guys. Just from swing high back down to swing low. This is still an area where price has not passed this 61.8 level right here. So it's kind of a key zone for me as of right now. So we'll see how price react to this zone we got. If it stays beneath it, I definitely recommend getting short on NU as a swing. We can kind of go look at it on our day trading times. Same thing about NU when I showed the ebb and flows of this market yesterday on the last hangout. We got our Fibonacci drill from swing high back down to swing low. And as you can see, just kind of the ebb and flows of the market. Price came up, outside return, break of structure, another outside return, lower low, lower close, break into structure, break down. So I'm anticipating, you know, for price, its key level right here, this 61.8 is key. You know, I definitely don't think price will break this tonight. We might get a rise and a retest of this level, but I'm still anticipating for price to make a new lower low on NU as well. Any questions on NU before I go to the next pair? Okay. Next pair we're going to look at is dollar yen. Dollar yen has been quite beautiful. You can see targets was reached as it barely touched this 1272 extension. Was one of the targets that I was extending. As you can see, price has been on the evident downtrend of this. So a way that we could kind of look to kind of get into this trade We could look for price to get a lower low and the lower close of this wick right here to the left. Or what I would like to see is price is struggling around our monthly key level right here. I would like to see price get a rise. If we could get somewhat of a rise back into structure and then anticipate a further drop. But either way, I'm looking for price to make lower lows. This is a very, very evident downtrend that we are in. And
Yo, Jordan, quick question.
Yes.
How do you determine your weekly key levels and monthly key levels?
Okay, yeah, that's something we have to do on a another training call. But the monthly key level is kind of derived from the quarter theory. It's 1,000. It's about usually 1,000 pip range that we find on the monthly chart. I go over that with you at a different time. It's gonna take a little bit more time to go over.
All right, I got you.
But if we were to draw a Fibonacci on this, just from our relative swing, the swing back down here, we kind of get Fibonacci confluence with structure at this 50% level. So we'll see how price kind of reacts to that. We can switch back down to our day trading time. Where was we at, y'all? We was on dollar yen, if I believe. Scroll up. There we go. This is kind of where we're at with dollar yen. Let me erase everything for you. I'm going to take my swing high from right here of this consolidation area. Kind of see where price is at. Price right now is in this 38.2 area where price is already making its breakdown. Let me draw a trend line here. I'm going to take it from point A to point B, and I'm going to extend it out. So to get involved in this trade, I would love to break in the close beneath this line. Yeah, also I would like to see price rise back into structure a little bit. Any other questions on dollar yen before I move on to the next pair? Okay. We look at euro yen, it's kind of the same thing as dollar yen. Price has been making very, very bearish movement. And as you can see, my key levels is kind of placed, man. They're placed really good. You can see this long wick right here came down and touched my monthly key level perfect before it kind of retraced up. So this is kind of that right now. I'm going to go ahead and apply my Fibonacci from its relative swing high back down to this swing low. So kind of where I would be looking to get involved into this trade at. We have a structure level. We have a nice structure level right here at our 38.2. And we also have another level up into here back at our 61.8. So for my swing traders, this is where I would definitely be looking to get short again on EJ. Let's take a look at it on our intraday chart to see how we can get involved. Let's look. I'm going to apply my Fibonacci from swing high back down into swing low. And what do you see? We already had a rejection of this 61.8 level. We're going to see how price react to this structure level over here. We're going to see how price reacts to this. You make it a different color, guys. So we got this structure level right here. If we get a break and a close beneath this structure level, we'll be looking to get short. But if price holds, we would have another structure level up into here at the 61.8, or even up here, really back in the structure. So you guys, you really want to trade with an if then thought process. You don't want to try to, you don't want to get in a trade and try to guess what, really try to predict it. You want to react to what price do. So you want to know what to do if price either goes up or if it goes down. So you that. Any questions on today before I go on to the next pair?
Hey, shit. No. No.
Look at Euro Aussie. Nice. We kind of on the downtrend. Let's draw a trend line on here. See if we can get us a good trend line drawn. We're gonna take it from wick to wick. Trying to place it directly on that wick like that. So we got a break in the close of this dynamic trend line right here. Let me go ahead. I can see if I can make this a different color for you guys. Make it red. We got a break and close of this dynamic trend line right here, and then as you see, price came up and kind of tested this level. This is kind of where we are at right now with price. Let me grab this. I anticipate Euro Aussie, to go down eventually and drop and make lower lows and close down here. Try to get probably, at least a break back down to our monthly key level. We have to really, just wait and see how price reacts. We haven't been getting a lot of movement out of Euro Aussie. Let's go look at it on our intraday time frame. Let's see. First thing I want to do, of course, apply my Fibonacci from swing low back up into swing high. If you guys can't tell, Fibonacci is very big on my trade plan. If you never had really training on Fibonacci, I really advise you to get some. We might have a potential Gartley right here. Let me look and see. The price did come and touch at least our 38.2. So what we have here is a potential Gartley. We got our X leg. We got our A leg. We got our B leg back down into here. We have a C leg of this wick. Let me get this on out the way. See if I can grab the D leg. Okay. We'll have a D leg somewhere here around our 78.6, but let me get this C leg so I can drag it back up here to show you guys. It's an ugly Gartley, but it's a valid Gartley. Definitely valid. It's kind of ugly. We're going to come so we can get an accurate D leg. We're going to get our Fibonacci extension tool. Take it from A to B. Back down here at our 1272. This will be a deep Gartley.
Shit.
So we have a deep Gartley on this plan out. It's kind of goes with our when we're looking to get short on Euro Aussie on a swing trade. So we'll really have to see kind of how price reacts to this. I will probably be looking for a nice rise and structure. We'll see how price react to this level, kind of where it is at right now. We can draw a nice structure box actually right here. Let's see if price get rejected away. Look to sell. So we'll see how price is reacting to this level. If price do pass that, we do have our C legs. If it passes this, we can draw some more good fibs up throughout in here. So probably just see how price react to these structure points. Any questions on Euro Aussie before I go to the next pair? Okay. Next pair we're looking at is dollar Swiss. As you can see, price is still in this consolidation zone. We had a double bottom formed yesterday. We had a double bottom with divergence. If any of y'all are familiar with divergence, you see it in the oscillator. I think I caught it probably about 80 pips on dollar Swiss today as well on the rise. So before we make any real swing trade moves on this, I would like to get a break and close above this box, but we can drop down to our intraday times and look and see how we could really get involved in it now. Let me go ahead and delete this. It looked like we might have a potential back, you know, just looking at it from first glance. So we might. We're gonna go X to A. We touched this 382, so we really you know, I think prices. We got a structure point right here at the 50, where we'll wait to see how price react to. This is one place where I will look to get long on this trade, and then we have another great one right here at our 61.8. So these are two levels where I'm definitely looking to get long on dollar Swiss as well. I'm looking for it's not the arrow I wanted. Where we will look for price to go up and create higher highs. Any questions on dollar Swiss before I go to my next pair, which is euro pound? We go to EJ. First thing I look at is EJ. I do see a completed cipher pattern. If you guys are familiar with Harmonics, you see this blue cipher right here, which was up here at the 78.6. And price was already on its way to targets from C to D. Let's see if target 1 was reached. Nope, target 1 was not reached yet. We will have target 1 down into here. Let's go look and see how we can get involved in this trade on the intraday setup. Draw this. I want to take my Fibonacci from down here, from swing low up to swing high. As you can see, we got a rejection from this 61.8 area dating from all the way back over here. So the first thing I want to do, I want to draw this structure level. And I want to see if price holds this level. Until we get a break and a close beneath this level, I got a long bias on EG. And if you look and see, we have higher highs being formed. You know, intro. Let me get my ellipse tool. If it want to move over here for me, guys. So what I might anticipate during London, we might get a drop back down to retest this structure from wherever it's going. But I definitely, I definitely believe that EG will ultimately finish. We will get a higher high and a higher close up into here. Any questions on euro pound before I go to my next pair? Okay. There we go. We look at dollar peso. From on our daily chart on my swing trade. This is last time I really marked this up, was at this 38.2 level, and I was looking for price to create higher highs. And as you can see, it really been quite on target. We almost got to our 1272 extension. I still have a long bias on dollar peso for a long term. What we might kind of anticipate is we might get price to fall right back into this structure level over here. Um, but I'm definitely looking for peso to still go up and create a new higher high and a higher close above this wick. Let's go drop down to our intraday setup to see how we could get involved. This is what I kind of had out drawn yesterday, which was a bullish flag. If you go back and watch the last recording, price kind of did exactly what I said. Price did come down and touch this 61.8 until we got a break in the close above this. But let me kind of delete all of that out now. So this is kind of where we are at. And first thing you know, I just want to get some good structure points on here. Let's apply some Fibonacci to this as well. I always draw Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, or vice versa, swing high to swing low. Noticing, just looking at our, a very good structure level. It's right in here at our 38.2, which is right here. As of right now, we have very big divergence on dollar peso. Well, we might get a drop back into structure, but ultimately, I am expecting a higher high and higher close. But another minor level of structure that we could pay attention to is this level down here to see how price kind of reacts to this. We could draw another minor Fibonacci from this wick up into this high. I use a lot of Fibonacci, you guys, so bear with me if you're not familiar with Fibonacci at all. But I zoom in a little bit, and as I drew the Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, as you can see, this level right here of our 61.8, and it's holding quite firm. So until we get a rejection of price down here, I definitely got a long bias on dollar peso, you guys. I definitely stress I'm more of a trend continuation trader myself, so I'm really not looking to get short on this pair as of now. But we definitely could get a drop back into these levels before we go long. But if we do not get a break in the close beneath this box, I definitely think we're going to get a higher high and higher close. Any questions or anything about this pair before I go to my next one? Okay. Next one we look at is Aussie yen. Just as the other yen pairs, we got a nice drop. This one actually touched our 1414 extension, not quite making our 1618. So let me erase this Fibonacci I got drawn right here. Let me apply another one to it from this wick. Actually, I'm going to start it from here, from the impulse leg down. And the first thing I see, we got a 38.2 right here in the structure. And then we still got this structure level of our 61.8. So that's where I will be looking to get short unless we get a lower low and a lower close right here for a swing trade setup. We could definitely go look at our intraday setup and see what it is giving us. We got a whole lot drawn on here right now. As you can see, we have still been on this downtrend. I want to do Fibonacci swing high, swing low, and as you can see, price has been rejected from this 61.8 level, which we also got a very strong structure point in here as well. If you look to your left, this is currently where we are at right now with price. Going down to make those lower lows, which I definitely anticipate. A way that I will look to get involved in this trade, if I get a break in the close, beneath this structure point right here. If I get a break in the close beneath this, our price come back up and test this 61.8 and cannot pass, and we get some type of a double and get some type of a double top right here as well. Any questions on Aussie yen before I go to my next pair?
What if price doesn't go back up to 61.8? You just won't get in that trade?
No, if price, even if I said if we get a break in the close beneath this structure box right here, you know, it'll let me know that there's very strong bearish momentum, and then our next structure level will not be back down here to our 0%. So I would get short if I can get a break in the close beneath this zone right.
You put your stop loss above the structure level there.
Exactly, stops will be above that, be above this leg right here.
That's a pretty big stop loss.
Yep, that's where you know, depending on your trade plan and your risk reward, you might not be able to enter that trade. You know, so that's why I always preach, you know, before you get in any trade, refer to your trade plan, and see if the risk and reward is there. But if I was to get involved in this trade, I would have extended targets on this trade. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit and show you. Might not quite show it. So we go to a 4 hour. Yeah, still I have it, my targets will be at the 1272 and the 1618. So it'll kind of even it out. But yeah, that's that's Aussie yen for you. Let's go to the next pair. A lot of people love, you know, pound yen is kind of, you know, doing the same thing. We got a making lower lows. I remember when pound yen was up here, I was telling people to get short. Let me kind of zoom out so you guys can see it. Kind of went over this yesterday on last night's hangout. We had our initial high here with our initial low. Price came right back up to create an outside return. Then we had the break in the price to get a lower low and a lower close, indicate a downtrend. Price initially came right back up, retested this trend line, came back up, made this trend line. Price broke, rose back up. It never could pass our first outside return, which is why this purple box is right here. And then we had a big drop. You know, targets was achieved, this 1272 extension, where we are at right now in price. You know, definitely where price kind of came up and tried to get this rise back into structure, where a lot of people would have looked to get short on this trade. Let's go look at it from a day trading time, intraday chart, to see how we could get involved now if we're not already involved. Could kind of, you know, delete all of this. First thing first, Fibonacci, swing high, back down to swing low. And if you look to your left, you know there is a lot of structure over here. A lot of structure, actually. So we're in a very bearish market with pound yen, just like the other yen pairs. I'm not really looking to get long in these markets, no way, shape, or form. I will look for either price to rise back up in the structure and get short, or just like Aussie yen, we're approaching another structure level right here. So we'll see if we can get a break and close beneath this structure level, and then I'll look to see, you know, whether to get long or short. But like I said, I don't do too much counter trend trading, so I just wouldn't be looking to get long in this market. Any questions on dollar yen before I go to the next pair? Pound yen, not dollar yen. Any questions on pound yen before I go to the next pair? Okay. My indexes. Let me see. I don't really want to go over Euro. Let me see when I don't intraday trade these charts. My next pair to look at, I don't really do too many swing trade on these phones. I'm like copying this. think pound Aussie. Let's see if I got pound Aussie marked up for. So if we got pound Aussie marked up for a swing trade setup. Okay, this is kind of where we are with pound Aussie. You know, very bearish market. We could just start off by applying our basic Fibonacci to this, if we was to just go from swing low to swing high. This is where we are at right now. Let me see if move some of these arrows away here from me. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna delete everything and draw it again. This is actually a pretty good setup. This is actually a very good setup, actually. We drew Fibonacci from swing low to swing high. As you can see, we have a great structure level right here at this 61.8, man. It's Fibonacci kind of make this stuff look magical, you guys. I can't really make this up. How price respect these levels. We have if anybody is familiar with our candlestick patterns, we have an evening star reversal pattern right here. So some people would have already got longed after. Some people would have already got long on this trade and would have had their stops. So if you would have got long just off of the 61.8 with price being rejected, and then you got the evening star, which is a bullish reversal, you'll have your stops below the formation, and then you can have your, you know, your take profit pretty much anywhere you want it. You know, where I will be looking for to take profit on this trade is definitely back up into this structure level over here. This is really our next major structure level where price can come to. We got a, let me get this right here. We got a minor structure level right in here, but I'll, you know, if we was to go long right here, I would have my targets up into here. So as far as the swing chart, we can look at this how we are doing right now on the intraday chart, and you know, definitely same thing. We just got to look to see how we can get involved in this trade. So we're going to apply Fibonacci from swing low back up into swing high. And I would like to see price come down and make to touch this 38.2, because like I said, I am more of a trend continuation trader. So this is where I would like to see price come to and retest before I get long. Like I said, if you get a break in the close above this wick, I could look to get involved as well with a long. Do we got any questions on here? Okay. There on, where was it we at on no, not correction. On pound Aussie, I said evening star. This is a morning star. My correction on that. So let's look at our next pair, Canadian yen. Kind of see where we are at right now with price. Definitely we've been on the bearish trend. We got a lower low and a lower close. Got a nice break. I want to see here. Let me draw this right here. As far as intraday goes, gonna draw from swing low back up into swing high. Kind of see how price react to this. Like I said, this is a very bearish market as well. I wouldn't look to get long in this trade, so I would actually take my Fibonacci tool from, and we'll draw it from this swing high, its relative swing high, back down into swing low. So I would look to get involved on this trade as a short if we get a break in the close beneath this structure level. But if we do get rejected away from this price, our next structure that we are coming to, of course, will be right back up into here. But I will look for price to come all the way back here. I don't trade too much Canadian yen. Do we got any other questions before we go to the next pair on this pair? That's about the last pair I want to go over. So that's the last pair I want to go over today. Do any of y'all got any questions or any analysis before we end this hangout? Alright, it sounds good. You know, hope this was a good hangout. I hope a lot of pips get caught in this upcoming London and New York session. So everybody have a great night.